Everybody, it's Frank. American Eagle Rises. How you guys doing for Friday? We made it through another week. I am almost over my cold. Still get a little phlegmy, a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, we got. What is that? Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. And yeah, I just got done with dinner. Like I don't know, like maybe 30 minutes ago. I was still hungry, so I had some. I had some popcorn. Excuse me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good Friday. I think this is good news all the way around. Not necessarily America First news. So we'll quickly go. I don't. Hopefully this is quick. Hopefully this is quick. So the 10-year Treasury did. It was the job report came out and it was not good. We know the job market sucks, but the number that Wall Street was looking for didn't get the print. So, the traders are going, the 10-year Treasury fell 11 basis points early in the morning. But then it ended up at -9. So, yeah, the 10-year Treasury going that down in one day, let alone just what 1, 2, 3. So yeah, just before, just like 4 or 5 days ago, the Treasury was at 4.3. So it's lost almost a quarter percentage point in 1 week. That's a huge move, especially in the 10-year Treasury. A ton of money went into the Treasury. The 10-year Treasury, that is. So they must... I don't know. I'm thinking like if inflation's happening, so I don't know. It must be more of a... That must be what it is they think that short-term rates are going to crash down. So long-term rates might look good. So that's why that's probably what's going on, but only 4% for a 10-year? No way! At least not my money, but again, your pension maybe. But yeah, the dollar went down. Not really as bad as I would thought it was going to be. Bitcoin kind of finished the week at 110, kind of. It can't go above 112. Doesn't seem to go below 107. Gold went up because of the 10-year Treasury going down. Silver did actually went up too. It was actually, it was way down, then kind of and then it kind of came down, but it still ended up. And then all the miners that I had, like, significantly, except for, what the hell I'm back into MAG? Invalid symbol. Did I lose my stock? No, this is Trading View every once in a while. Anyway, we don't care about this crap no more. Okay, bye. Shrink that. Yeah, so one of the biggest... We'll get to that in a second. So one of the biggest America First news is ICE down in Georgia. There was this Hyundai plant, and they busted a whole bunch of people. Who would have thought? Oh, it lagged again, guys. Come on. Yeah. Like, I don't know. When I had to, apply for a job at General Motors, I had to, are you a U.S. citizen? Yeah, or did you you need to be sponsored or whatnot? Like, what? We have illegal immigrants working in an automotive plant in Hyundai into Georgia. Now, I don't think the UAW has that plant unionized. But for crying out loud, hire an American, like what? Trump, keep going, dude. This is, man. I I wonder who else is, hiring illegals in their plant. Maybe that's why Hyundais are so cheap. Well, relatively speaking. Their stuff's getting a little bit better. Someone I know, they bought one of those, like a hybrid. But it was like, I don't know, like almost 30,000. I don't know. Anyway, they wanted to get better gas mileage. They needed a new car, so they had to. And then this. What are you Democrats doing, or communists? Apparently, Trump was dead, and we didn't know about it, and it went viral. But why? He's alive. Like, there's a lot of tinfoil hat communities that are out there. This is kind of like a slap in their face. So, these delusional communists, they're like, I think it's like one of the Trump doubles. And if you guys don't know, I mean, this is old. Having body doubles is like thousands of years old. So, but I think even Joe Biden had body doubles. It's just what they do, right? I mean, you don't know exactly, right? You'll have like a couple. You don't know exactly which one is his car. You're not supposed to, and the secret police. But yeah, someone's like, oh, hey, that's not Trump. That guy doesn't even look like Trump. Oh, Trump must be dead, and that's what happened. But all you need is like one or two communists, right? And then they make a fake video, and then they go tell their friends, and then all the all the fairy godmothers come on at night. All right, so Frank, what the hell was this? Yeah, so I was feeling all right, and right after work, started working in a garage. Actually made very good headway on the Camaro. So, and I think I told you guys before, right? So I hadn't been able to work on it the weekend before and the weekend prior because I was still sick. And then the weekend prior, I was like I felt like my body was achy and everything like that. So that was the beginning of the cold. So, but yeah, so was able to put the water pump on after I had to get the damn bolt. Because it snapped off, but I couldn't just extract it out. I had to drill it all the way through, the bolt and the hole. And this is the thermostat housing, and it's in the water pump. So I'm like, all right, well, so I had to drill it and tap the damn thing. So it was an M6, and now I got an M8, so I am a little worried, but it seems like it's fine. Then I had to make the thermostat housing. I had to enlarge the hole there a little bit so that the M8 can go through there. And, there's like a circle, right? And then there's like a seal there on the thermostat, right? So I had to drill the little boss holes. It's like, you could have made a little bit more material there. So, it's a 1 millimeter in radius, right? So one on each side, two diameter, but. And I'm like, it's aluminum. There's still material there. So, I had to put new, gaskets on there. And it was funny, too, because I had to, take a bunch of other crap off to get this damn water pump off. I mean, I probably didn't need to take everything off. It was just easier because I'm like, well, putting it back on, putting the gaskets on and all that crap, when you're trying to line it up, it's good, you want a nice shot at it. So, I actually had to take the talk, dude. I had to take the throttle body off. But I also had to take, obviously I had to take the serpentine belt off, and then the damn water pump, there's like one bolt where like the idler, so I had to take the idler pulley off. I'm also doing the coolant flush, right? So I had the bottle out, the battery out. The air in duct, because all that's in the front. Man, it was a lot of stuff. But I got it all back in today. And then I put, the coolant flush in a bunch of water and started it up. And then, I also topped off the power steering fluid because that's what I also did too. To drain. I try to get as much out. I can't get it all out. So we'll put new fluid in, and then we started it up and turned the wheel. It was low again, so we put more fluid in there. It looks cleaner. We're gonna drive it around and then do I call it the turkey baster method, where you just pull out material from the reservoir, right, and then you put new fluid in, then you let it turn around. Maybe do that a couple more times. It's been a while. I don't think I'll get it all off, and then maybe we'll do it, next year and stuff like that. But I had this water funnel. It's like you put it on your. It's like you replaces your radiator cap, and it's got a stem, and you got this big bucket thing. You can put your water and shit in there, right? So, the car started up, and then I'm like, oh, when's the thermostat gonna kick in? When's it gonna start? I'm like. And I don't know. Maybe it did. I had it on for a half hour, so this was the one little setback. It pissed me off. So the water was kind of going down a little bit, and then it started coming up and was bubbling. And I'm like, well, when's the thermostat gonna? Because I'm thinking the thermostat's gonna kick in. And it just kept rising and rising. And I'm like, well, maybe it's expanding now. I'm like, okay. Maybe it's done. So, and it's getting up there, and as I turn it off, it just goes bleh. Yeah, so water was all over the damn place. And then it was funny, because then all of a sudden it was sucking it back down, and then it needed more water. So it's just shit. So, yeah, we probably should have just left the radiator cap off, filled with water, let the cap off, run it, and then, I call that the old school method, right? So, anyway, I had a new tool. I had a new toy that I wanted to try out. Well, it didn't quite work the way we wanted. So, why this is going on? No, I didn't bump my head. So I bought a new from Home Depot, and I probably should have put something here. But it's one of those headlamps, but it's got a strap down the middle and a strap here, and it's kind of big. It's almost like one of those old miner. Those miner. I think it'd be cool to get one of those again. I had one years ago, and you could tilt it, and you got two brightness settings, but you can have a spot, a floodlight, and then more like a spotlight. And it's good, it's bright. But I had it on the whole, I put it on at 3 o'clock, and I didn't take it off till 8 something. So I just had it on there, moving around, just click, 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 click. And then I'm like, oh man, it feels like, now look at it. And I'm like, oh boy. So yeah, we got this. Yeah, we're going to have a blister on our forehead. Hey, my hands aren't too bad. What do you think? Are they dirty? Probably the fingernails are dirty. Yeah, look at that. There you go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm an engineer, but my hands, they're not quite engineer hands. So, anyway. Yeah, I have my glasses on, so let's see what it looks like. It looks pretty bad, right? Yeah. Anyway, look at Raymond. He's got wait, how's it go? Dad mode, dark mode. I can't remember. I keep messing his channel up, but he's on there right now. So I thought I'd get on video here real quick. We're just under 15 minutes. And I think I need to jump on and play some Magic the Gathering Arena. But the only thing I need to do on the Camaro is check that radiator again, because I need to drive it around Probably drive around all this week and maybe, a couple more times and then get all the damn water out again and then fill it up with real coolant. But I put this reverse lockout thing, and I think it had this damn spring, and then I put the thing in, and I'm like, well, we were supposed to use the spring, right? So as I'm putting it, I put the spring in, I put it in there, and I'm like, like when I was torquing the bolt down, it was like hard to torque the bolt down, but I get into my car and like I can only get in the first, second, and like third and fourth. I can't get over. I can't even get the damn thing over to the fifth. So I think. So I'm just gonna take that thing out, take the spring out, put it back in, and then maybe it's just that dumb spring. But if it still doesn't work, then I'll put the damn old one in. That's why you don't throw away your parts. Never throw away your parts until you know it, and then even then, like I'll keep my parts for like I'm trying to remember. I think I learned this a long time ago in one of my old cars, and man, it sucked. And it was like it worked fine for like a week or two, and then something broke or something, and I'm like, oh shit, I need that old part. I go to the parts store and I'm like, shot in the dark. And I'm like, you guys got these old parts? I'm like, when did you bring it in? Like 2 weeks ago. They're like, oh hell no. They're like, oh hell no. We fill it up, and the guy comes every Thursday to pick it up. So, and then, but they found a part for me that was like real similar, so it did work. But yeah, we had a kind of jerry rig. Yeah. So since that day, I'll keep even my old brake pads and shit for a while, and then like after like the next year, I'll be like, all right, they've been on there, toss them out now, unless they're raggedy, right? Like if your rotors and all that are just completely destroyed, then it's not really worth it. But like on my Camaro, they were actually in pretty decent shape. It's just the pads and the rotors got a little warpy. But they had like they weren't even worn down. But so I put them on like 2 years ago, and then last year I finally pitched them. So I'm like, all right, I had them for years. Anyway, blah 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 blah. 2 minutes. So anyway, you guys weren't supposed to last that long, but you did, right? So, well, how do we want to end this one? Stop button and say bye. Yeah, see ya. Bye.